How does a small tribe become one of the most powerful empires in history? For more than 600 years, the Ottoman Empire ruled over vast lands stretching across Europe, Asia, and Africa. It controlled some of the world's richest trade routes, conquered legendary cities, and reshaped the course of history. But its rise began with just a few hundred warriors on the edge of a collapsing empire. Around the year 1299, Western Anatolia was a land of chaos. The mighty Byzantine Empire was weakening. The once powerful Seljuk Sultanate had fractured. Amid this uncertainty, a tribal leader named Osman united Turkish warriors under a single banner. No one could have imagined that this small frontier state would grow into one of history's greatest empires. As the Ottoman state expanded, it needed more than brave warriors. It needed an army unlike any the world had ever seen. The answer was the Janissaries. Recruited through the Devshirme system, Christian boys from conquered territories were brought into the empire, converted to Islam, and rigorously trained to become elite soldiers loyal only to the Sultan. Disciplined, highly skilled, and fiercely organized, the Janissaries transformed the Ottoman military into one of the most feared fighting forces in history. In 1453, Sultan Mehmed II launched one of history's greatest sieges. His target was Constantinople, the legendary capital of the Byzantine Empire. Massive cannons pounded its ancient walls for weeks. Then, on May 29th, Ottoman forces broke through. The city fell. Constantinople became the new Ottoman capital, later known as Istanbul, and the conquest marked the end of the Byzantine Empire and the beginning of a new era. By the early 1500s, the Ottoman Empire had become a rising regional power. Then came Sultan Selim I, a ruler whose military campaigns transformed the empire almost overnight. In just 8 years, Selim defeated the Safavid Empire in the east and the Mamluk Sultanate in the south. His victories brought Syria, Egypt, Palestine, and the holy cities of Mecca and Medina under Ottoman control. The empire had become the dominant power of the Middle East. Selim's son, Suleiman the Magnificent, elevated the empire to its greatest height. Known within the empire as the lawgiver, he reformed the legal system, strengthened the economy, and patronized art, science, and architecture. Ottoman armies advanced deep into Europe, reaching the gates of Vienna. Under Suleiman, the empire became one of the world's leading military, cultural, and economic powers. At its height, the Ottoman Empire was more than a military power. It was home to millions of people from different cultures, languages, and religions. Muslims, Christians, and Jews lived under Ottoman rule, each managing many of their own religious and community affairs through the millet system. Bustling bazaars connected east and west, while architects, scholars, and artisans transformed cities like Istanbul, Damascus, and Cairo into centers of commerce, learning, and culture. But no empire remains at its peak forever. By the 17th century, the Ottoman Empire faced growing challenges. The once elite Janissaries became increasingly powerful in politics, resisting reform and even overthrowing sultans. Economic inflation, corruption, and long wars strained the empire's finances. Meanwhile, rivals such as the Russian Empire and the Habsburg monarchy grew stronger, pushing back against Ottoman expansion. By the 19th century, the once mighty Ottoman Empire had earned an unfortunate nickname, the Sick Man of Europe. Its armies were no longer unstoppable. European powers had industrialized, modernized their militaries, and expanded their economies. The Ottoman government responded with sweeping reforms known as the Tanzimat, introducing new schools, modern laws, railways, and a reorganized army. But for many, these reforms came too late to reverse centuries of decline. As the empire weakened, nationalist movements spread across its territories. One by one, nations sought independence. Greece broke free after a long struggle. Soon followed Serbia, Romania, Montenegro, and Bulgaria. Meanwhile, European powers seized Ottoman lands in North Africa. The empire that had once united 3 continents was slowly falling apart. In 1914, the Ottoman Empire entered World War I alongside Germany and the Central Powers. Although Ottoman forces achieved remarkable victories, including the defense of Gallipoli, The empire was fighting on too many fronts. At the same time, the Arab revolt weakened Ottoman control in the Middle East. By 1918, defeat was inevitable. The Armistice of Mudros ended the war for the Ottomans, and Allied forces occupied Constantinople, bringing 6 centuries of imperial rule to the brink of collapse. But the story did not end with defeat. Led by Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, Turkish nationalists launched the War of Independence, resisting foreign occupation and securing a new future. In 1922, the Ottoman Sultanate was abolished. A year later, the Republic of Turkey was founded. The Ottoman Empire had disappeared, yet its influence remains everywhere, from the skylines of Istanbul to the laws, architecture, cuisines, and cultures of dozens of nations. For more than 600 years, the Ottomans shaped the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and Africa. Their empire may have fallen, but its legacy still lives on.